Welcome, Yappers, to another fan favorite episode of Binge Yap Repeat. Today's episode is about the HBO documentary Murder in Glitterball City, and it was recommended to us by Tony on Instagram. So thank you, Tony, for
Yay!
for DMing us and telling us to watch this documentary.
Thank you,
Um,
Tony.
yeah, so I think what we're gonna do is because it's a fan favorite episode, it's a little bit different. We don't expect everyone of our yappers to have watched this already, so we're gonna do a little bit more recappy than we normally do. And then at the end, instead of rating it, we'll give you a bit of a contextualized recommendation. So if you're interested in blah blah blah, you should watch this. That kind of thing. All right.
Yay.
So let me do my intro, and then Shalini, I'll hand it over to you to do more of a summary. Okay, so Murder in Glitterball City is a two-part HBO documentary exploring the 2010 murder of drag performer James Jamie Carroll in Louisville, Kentucky. The series is inspired by David Dominey's book A Dark Room in Glitterball City, who is also in the documentary itself, and focuses on the toxic relationship between suspects Jeffrey Munt and Joseph Joey Banis, who accused each other of the killing. Shalini, why don't you give us a summary?
Where do I begin? This case was so crazy. Okay, so from what I can remember, Joey and Jeff, Jeff,
Yes.
who goes by Jace.
Yeah, Jeffrey Jace Munt.
Okay, so this couple, Joey and Jeff, move into this house, 1435 South 4th Street
Yes.
in Louisville, Kentucky, which, by the way, I didn't know anything about Louisville, and now I'm like, kind of seems like a fun city to visit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really reminded me of New Orleans.
Yes, I was thinking that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even the police department logo has a little fleur-de-lis on it, and then the obsession
Mm.
with ghosts and spirits and everything.
Yeah, and
Also
like
being Southern.
large Victorian houses,
Yeah.
and yeah, like all the furniture inside was very like French, funky.
Yes.
Yeah, very New Orleans vibe. Um, but yeah, okay, so they're a couple, they move in together. Joey is has had a criminal history before. Sounds like he's been arrested on like drug charges and stuff. Had he been arrested for anything violent up till that point?
They always said that he had a felony, but I actually don't know if they said what the
Yeah.
felony was.
Yeah, I don't know if they did either. Okay. But basically, Joey kind of has a storied history. And on the other hand, Jeff is seemingly very clean cut. He like has a corporate job. If you look at a picture of the two of them, like Joey looks like he's been through some shit and Jeff looks like very clean cut, very yeah.
Yeah, Joey
Um
Banis is he has a mohawk. It's multicolored. It's blue or whatever. He has a very sharp landing strip goatee. Um, his eyebrows are very funkily shaped. He looks like a character.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jeffrey Munn is just the opposite of that. I think he has some hair gel stuff, but other than that, looks pretty
Yeah.
frat bro-y, to be honest.
Looks like so cookie cutter white American male. Like
Yeah.
and I think it was maybe one of the cops that was like, he looks like an IT consultant.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. With his collared shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, so on the night of June 12th, 2011, there's a 911 call from Jeff, the IT consultant looking guy, and he's saying that his ex-boyfriend Joey is trying to murder him in his own home. He's really scared, so he asked the police to come and arrest Joey. So the police come and arrest him, and then they take Joey to the police office for questioning, and somehow it comes out. I don't actually know who said it first, either Jeff or Joey, but
I think
somehow it comes
Joey.
out. Okay, Joey mentions that there is a dead body in the basement of Jeff's house, and he says that Jeff murdered him.
Mm-hmm.
So then the police go to the house. They dig up exactly where Joey said the body was.
Oh,
They
wait.
find
Sorry.
oh
No, you're right. It was Jeff who said it first.
oh
Because,
okay.
yeah. So Jeffrey Jace is like saying it first. He's like, oh, now that you've arrested Joey, by the way, he murdered someone in that house and they're buried in the basement. Then, of course, they like go down to Joey. They're like, Joey, what the heck? Jeffrey is saying this. And Joey's like, yeah, there is a body in the basement, but it was actually Jeffrey who murdered him.
Yeah, it was very confusing because I feel like the first thing we heard was that one of them told the cops, but then later in the docuseries it was like actually the other one told the cops first. Basically, neither of them are agreeing on what happened to this dead body in the basement. The dead body is of James Carroll, who was a drag queen and like quite like beloved in the community, it seemed like. He had been in the Louisville area for a while. He was like very in the drag queen community, the gay community, and he also had quite a lot of involvement in like the drug community. And so okay, yeah, going back to Jeff and Joey, neither of them can agree on who killed James Carroll. But what it seems like happened was James came over to their house and the three of them were having a threesome. One of the men took a knife to James's throat. It seems like they stabbed him and then shot him twice and then stuffed his body into a Rubbermaid, like, big container, covered him in lime. Is that Lyme? Is that what that is?
I think it's Lime, but
Oh,
it's like a
really?
gardening thing. Yeah, garden lime is calcium
Okay.
carbonate dolomitic lime used
Oh,
to raise the
okay.
pH of acidic soil.
Oh, raise the pH. Oh, okay. This whole time I was like, lime is acidic, so wouldn't that break the body down? But okay, I guess this is a basic thing, and then that preserves the body. Okay, so they like put lime all over it. Why were they trying to preserve the? Oh no, they were just trying to get rid of the smell of the body.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So they pour lime all over him, which is this like powdery substance. Then they fill the rest of the container with this like foam substance and then bury him in the basement that is just like covered in dirt. And then leave him there for 6 months.
Hmm.
And Jeff and Joey blame each other. They both go on trial for the murder. They have separate trials where they are both the defendant on first degree of murder. Is
Hmm.
it first degree or second degree? Actually, I'm not sure.
Isn't it first because it's oh, wait, maybe it's second. I don't know. One of them is like the intent to murder and the other one is
Yeah.
not.
First degree is premeditated.
Oh,
Second
okay.
degree is intent to murder, but like just happens in the moment. And then
Oh,
third
okay.
degree, I think, is accidental.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's second
Um,
degree. Yappers,
okay.
this is why we are not a true crime podcast.
We this is not our area of expertise, but I gotta say this docuseries like was so crazy. I was at the edge of my seat.
Should we?
Uh, are we my favorite murder now?
Oh my God.
Okay, so yeah, then this murder trial happens, and what ends up happening, Joey's trial is first. Again, Joey is the one with a history of drug arrests, some felony, etc. Jeff testifies against Joey in his trial. Joey is convicted of murder. Then Jeff goes on trial. Joey testifies as the chief witness from the prosecution side on Jeff's trial, and Jeff is found not guilty of murder.
Crazy.
So crazy. And they interviewed one of the jurors from Joey's trial, and she was like, if like we did convict Joey, but if Jeff and Joey were like dual defendants in the same trial, we would have convicted both of them. So it was there. I think there's something to be said about like the type of lawyer that each of them hired. It seemed like Jeff's lawyers were way more aggressive and just like somehow convinced the jury that there was enough reasonable doubt versus Joey's lawyers, I guess, were less successful. So, Jeff, yeah, got off scot-free. He's apparently somewhere. No one knows where he is. He
Somewhere
is
in
out there.
Baltimore, maybe.
Baltimore, question mark. He is out there. Everyone be on the lookout for this Jeff character. Sounds sketchy. And Joey has life without parole.
Yep. But is maybe going up for an appeal.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, that crazy. Great summary though. Great job.
Thank you.
So my question is, do you think justice was served?
No, because I think Jeffrey murdered him. I really think it was Jeff.
Well, okay,
From
do you think
Okay,
that Joey was not guilty?
I think he's guilty of some things, like accessory to murder, I suppose. But I do think it was interesting how they brought in the topic of domestic abuse in this docuseries, and I could see a case where Joey felt scared to go against what Jeff was doing, or like it seemed like Jeff had all the power in the relationship, at least to me, who just watched this couple for like 2 hours.
Hmm.
um and so I could see a case where Joey did not feel comfortable like speaking out against Jeff and stuff, and was kind of coerced into doing things. And so I believe that Joey helped with like stashing the body in the basement and stuff, but I don't know if he should really be found guilty, because
Yeah.
I think to me, it was clear that Jeff was kind of the mastermind behind the whole thing, and Joey was just kind of going along with it because either he loved Jeff or was like scared of Jeff or something. And I think Joey's past affected a lot of his future, and his history with drugs, his previous felony, etc. And the cards were stacked against him. So yeah, he might have done something, but I don't think he deserved what he got.
Yeah. And Yappers, even though Jeffrey was found not guilty, he still did serve jail time. So I think it was something like 6 years or something. And then he like
Yeah.
got out in three, something like that. Yeah. So I feel like it should have been flipped. It should have been Joey who had like the very small amount of jail time. And then it should have been Jeffrey who got life in prison. Because I agree, he was definitely the mastermind behind everything, and I have no idea why the jury found him not guilty. So, question for you, um, how do you think things would have gone differently? Where did it go wrong, basically? Like, how did it end up like this, where they kinda got, like, swapped jail times?
Okay. I think one of the big things for Jeff's trial, and a big reason he was found not guilty, was that video that they showed in court of Joey being on camera. So this is actually the first scene of the entire docuseries, is this video of Joey saying that I'm about to commit suicide. My boyfriend Jeff is in no way culpable, but there was a murder and I'm responsible for it, blah blah blah. So that's the first scene we see. And I think and that's the first video that the jury saw. Turns out there were other videos around the same time where you could see Jeff like telling him what to say basically, or like approving of what Joey was saying in the video. So obviously there's more to the story, but I think that just really cemented in the jury's mind of like, okay, Joey's taking full blame for this murder, so why are we putting another person on trial? And I think there were other like crafty moves by the lawyer to I don't remember exactly what it was, but what was that thing where the the judge was like, "Jury, forget you heard that."
Oh, yeah, actually, I forgot what they said.
Yeah, basically there was an instance where the Jeff's lawyer said something in court which the prosecution complained about, and then the judge said, "Okay, jury, strike this from your memory." But then, like
You
that
can't
lawyer said,
unring a
it's like,
bell.
yeah, you can't unring a bell. If the jury hears, "Please forget what was just said," like that's gonna be the one thing they remember.
Yeah. I think it was they were questioning the domestic violence expert, and then the lawyer, Jeffrey's lawyer, asked her a question that she, like, couldn't answer, or, like, answered in favor of, like, Jeffrey or something like that, and
Oh, that's
then
right.
they were like, "Oh, may we approach?" And then I don't think that question was relevant. Why did you ask that question? And then I don't understand the purpose of of asking and answering that question. And that's why the judge was like, okay, that's a fair point. Jury, strike this from your memory.
That's right. Yeah, I think he was asking the expert to make a judgment on the guiltiness of Jeff, basically, which is
Yeah.
like not what the expert is there to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, going back to the video, I thought they did play the earlier videos in that trial as well, right? Like they played the opening of that video, which is basically like, oh, like Jeffrey like typing away on a laptop and then Joey just kind of like hanging out, just like doing like test recordings basically. And then Jeffrey is like, okay, like here's what I want you to read. Like, here you go. And then they also showed the ending of that video where Joey's like, did I do a good job? And he's like, yeah, like you did great. Thanks. That's perfect. So I think they did
Yeah,
show those videos in the trial, right?
they did show it. But I think like the first impression is so important, and once they like I feel like the jury made up their minds when they saw the first video.
Yeah. I guess, like, going back to that first video, even when I was watching it, I was like, it is pretty obvious he is reading words that he is seeing for the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was like kind of stumbling over his words, not reading them properly.
Yeah, and there
Yeah.
wasn't, like, feeling behind it was like he was reading it to, like, gain information. Like, you know when I read out, like, my intro, I'm, like, reading this and I like, as I'm writing it, I know kinda, like, where I wanna put the emphasis, like, how I wanna read it out. So, when I am reading it, even in this episode, it kind of feels like I know what I'm trying to say and what I'm going to say, and so, like, that's how it comes out. But, like, for Joey, it was like, Murder in Glitterball City 2026 is a two-part HBO documentary, like, reading every
Yeah.
single word because he
Yeah.
didn't write it.
Yeah. Okay, also, I I don't know if I'm biased or whatever, but I thought that Jeff's testimony seemed so, like, calculated, and he just seemed like he was lying versus Joey's testimony seemed like, "I have nothing to lose, I'm just gonna tell the truth,
Yeah,
and what happens, happens." It just seemed to me like it was so obvious that Jeff was lying and Joey was telling the truth, and,
yeah.
like, Joey just seemed so genuine and straightforward about what had happened, and Jeff seemed like, "I'm trying to tell a story here."
Yeah. Oh my god. I got so irritated when Jeffrey was doing his testimony at Joey's trial. So I think that was what maybe sealed not well, maybe not sealed the deal, where that's where the jury in Joey's trial was like, okay, maybe Joey is not completely innocent, but like this guy Jeffrey is like really like not like he definitely killed this person.
Yeah.
So I like did Jeffrey not testify at his own trial?
I guess not. Yeah, they didn't really make a big deal of that, but they made a big deal of Joey not testifying at his own trial.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't really talk about Jeff not testifying. I know it's like there are like a lot of pros and cons to a defendant testifying at their own murder trial from I know this from all of the true crime books that I've read or like all the lawyer like John Grisham books I've read. But I know that it can sometimes do way more harm than good to have the
Yeah.
defendant testify.
Do you
So,
think Joey testifying at his own trial would have changed the outcome, knowing what you saw in Jeffrey's trial?
yeah. Um, I'm not sure because I think it would have helped for the jury to hear what happened from Joey's point of view. However, that also would have opened up to a cross-examination and playing the video, and I think the video, like, once again would have decided it because the video was never played in Joey's trial, and that was
Oh.
what they wanted to prevent from happening. That's why they didn't put Joey on the stand.
Mm.
Um, and so I think it might have just canceled itself out, and yeah, same
It's
thing would have
possible.
happened.
I was thinking it could have helped because I think from how we saw how the two of them interacted and like shared their story and sequence of events, it was so clear that Joey was a lot more remorseful and sorry for what had happened versus Jeffrey, which makes
Mm-hmm.
sense because Joey and Jamie were actually friends and Jeff and Jamie were not.
Mm, yeah. Also, three white men whose names start with J.
Oh my God, yeah.
Sorry, listeners. Hope you can keep track of it.
Yeah. Jeffrey Munt, the cold and here's a recap. Jeffrey Munt, cold and calculating, sometimes goes by Jace. Um, Another J
Joey
name.
Ban.
Joey Banis, Mohawk guy, who was found guilty at his trial. Jeffrey was not. And then the victim was Jamie Carroll. Yeah. Okay. I have a couple other questions. Do-do-do. Oh, and then there was a part in the documentary where they talk about this like counterfeiting story where I
Mm.
think Joey and Jeffrey go to Chicago and then they're caught in Chicago with like $50,000 of counterfeit bills. And they also like went through Joey's laptop after they were able to break into a MacBook, which they couldn't do, which is crazy to me. Oh my God. Okay, Yappers, sorry. A big crux of the story is that um Jeffrey and Joey both had MacBooks, and the Louisville Police Department had only PCs. So there was so much digital evidence that was on Joey's laptop, which was revealed at the end of the documentary, which the Louisville Police Department like didn't even go through because they literally couldn't because they had PCs. This is like a tech incompatibility issue, which is why justice was not served.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it sounds like the Louisville Police Department now has a digital forensics team, which can
Yeah.
hopefully look into Macs and PCs.
But it's crazy that that was an issue in 2010, which honestly was not so long ago. Like
Yeah,
imagine like what computer were you using in 2010?
a Mac.
And I was using a PC.
I'm a
So
Mac and I'm a PC. Do you remember those commercials?
yes. There you go. You're the Mac. I'm the PC. You're the iPhone. I'm the Android. We're compatible, are we not? Anyway, okay, yeah. So going back, there's this whole story about how Jeffrey is like counterfeiting these $100 bills and like very condescendingly telling Joey how he's doing it by like copying like a pixel by pixel thing about like the $100 bill. Like that's how he's counterfeiting these bills. Anyway, so they were talking about this after like the trials have been over and done with, and then they bring this up in the documentary, and I'm like, that's interesting, but like, what's the purpose of this?
Yeah, I was like kind of lost during that part of the docuseries, honestly. I did not know what was happening. I was like, what does this have to do? I guess it was just to show that like Jeff was always the one in charge, maybe.
I guess. Or like, it's like another piece of the puzzle that they found after they were able to go through the Mac.
Mm,
I don't know. It just seemed kind of like out of nowhere. It was like, I felt
yeah.
like we were done and dusted with everything. And now suddenly this thing is coming up again. And then they like moved past it like very quickly after.
Yeah. Very confusing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Glad I didn't miss anything. Um, so is there anything else about the trial, Jeffrey, Joey, that you want to talk about before we move on to Louisville itself?
Oh, I do want to talk about the townies we met. But let me think.
Oh, oh, sorry.
Oh,
I
I was
also
just
have
gonna
something,
say,
but yeah, go ahead.
okay. Um, I just like one very small thing. I thought it was really funny how so there's one part where they show a sex scene, essentially, like a filmed
That's what
sex
I
scene.
wanted to talk about.
Oh my god. A sex scene between Jeff and Joey, presumably like right after this murder happened. When they're showing this in the court, they were like, "Oh yeah, there were people in the like audience just texting each other like, you got to come to this courtroom because they're playing a sex scene." And
Oh my
then people
God.
came. I was like, "What?"
Crazy. Dude, I actually felt like I feel so bad for Joey and Jeffrey. Well, not Jeffrey, but I felt bad for Joey at
Yeah,
least
me
when they
too.
showed that video and it seemed like it went on for a really long time. I would feel so mortified if a video of me having sex was being played in this courtroom in front of so many people. I was like,
I
oh
know.
my God, I feel so uncomfortable. And the fact that people are texting each other, like, dude, come, like, porn is being played. I felt so bad. I was like,
It was
ugh.
really dehumanizing. It was really
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, it was really sad. And was that, sorry, remind me, was that Jeffrey's trial or Joey's trial?
That was during Jeff's trial.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
So Joey was already in prison at that point. Um, I don't know if he was I don't think he was in the courtroom that day when that happened.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Ugh.
Jeff was, and apparently he like his ears turned red
Mm.
when that happened.
Well, did they?
Yeah.
Because that's what they said in the book, which, as
Oh,
we
that's
know, the
true.
book is like
Half
crazy too.
fiction, half fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, like, it's interesting to me that they involved so much of the book in this
Yeah, that's what
docuseries.
I
Like,
was confused about
why?
too.
If we know some of it is false, like, why include literally every time there was a new scene, they would like show a line from the book to start the scene. And I'm like, we know that a lot of this is not true. So why are you framing this entire series around this book?
And then every time they introduced a new character, they had the character like read their intro line from the book. And every time that happened, the person like scoffed and rolled their eyes. So I was like, why are we giving this book so much screen time if it's like not even accurate? If even the people themselves who it was based on are like scoffing and rolling their eyes.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk more about that when we get into the Louisville section. But coming back to the trial and how they played the sex video kind of showing that Jeff was the top and that's how he was the mastermind because there's no way that like a bottom could have like done or like be the perpetrator of domestic abuse. I thought I was like kind of seeing that point, but I think the more important point is that I think Joey had called, there was like a phone call from Joey to the documentary producers later in the
Hmm.
documentary saying, like, at the time that we were all having the threesome, I was restrained, so I couldn't do anything. And so, like, that's why when Jamie was saying, like, "Oh, Joey, like, please help me," I literally couldn't do anything because I was restrained to the bed. And like, that feeling of not being able to help your friend while he's literally getting murdered just, like, sticks with me. I felt so bad for him. But what an incredibly, like, that's such an important nugget of truth that just, like, didn't come
Yeah.
out. Like, if you're gonna show a sex video, like, talk about the whole constraining and
Yeah.
restraining thing.
Seriously, they didn't use that at all. Like,
Yeah.
why didn't Joey's defense say he was restrained? Here is a video showing that he was restrained. Like, this video literally shows how they would have sex. And like, yeah, it there and then the other thing that they didn't use was that Joey said that James Jamie was stabbed by Jeff, and Jeff
Yes.
said that Jamie's throat was slit by Joey, but the forensics show that Jamie was stabbed, so Joey was the one that was telling more of the truth.
Yep.
They didn't use that either.
They didn't use it. Ugh. I hate it's like the documentaries like this just really show how the American justice system has so many gaps for like such stupid reasons. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, oh, they had tech incompatibility issues. That's why they couldn't access key pieces of evidence that were on this MacBook. Oh, they didn't have enough resources to like really go through and like understand all the evidence that's out there. Oh, they had this murder documentary show the first 48 hours, putting added pressure on the detective to solve the case. And so, like, that was another piece of, like, why are they there?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that whole thing. Yeah, so like during the first questioning, there's a TV crew there called like for the show called The First 48. 'cause yeah, they're, like, working with the police on this on, like, their new episode, which is gonna be about this murder, like, the fact that the TV crew was there must have made Joey and Jeff change their behavior, like, why are we complicating things? Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? What are we doing? What are our
Why does that
priorities?
show even exist?
Yeah, why does that show exist? Like, what are we doing as a society?
Ugh, so frustrating. Okay, and then one last thing about, like, the whole questioning of Jeffrey at the trial, so I also again, I don't remember if this was at Joey's trial or Jeffrey's trial, but they were questioning Jeffrey about all of the, like, gay terms, right? They were like, "Oh, what's mummification and
PNP.
gingering?" Yeah, PNP, whatever. Um, and then they go to the author of the book, David Domine, and then David
Mhm.
Domine is like, "It's straight up kink shaming." Like, that's what they were doing to him. So, question for you. Did you think it was kink shaming?
Um,
Do you think it was, like, really relevant to the trial?
I don't think it was relevant to the trial, and therefore I do think it was kink shaming because I think the defense I think this was during Joey's trial and Jeff was put on the stand as like a prosecution witness, but then the defense was trying to paint Jeff as guilty so that the blame was off of Joey. And so I think the defense was using all of these terms to kink shame Jeff,
Mhm.
make him seem like it was possible that he was guilty because of his kinks. And
Yeah.
so I think, yeah, I agree. I think it was kink shaming, and I certainly learned a lot of terms that they explained in this docuseries. But yeah, I don't think it was relevant. Like, what? It has nothing to do with the murder. Also, I don't agree with I think it was that juror lady that said like your fantasies are what you want to happen in reality.
I
Yeah,
wrote
did you
that
write that
down.
down? I was like,
Yes.
that's like literally the
Not
opposite
the
of what a
case.
fantasy is. Like a sex fantasy is something that you like it has nothing to do with what you want to happen in real life sometimes.
Exactly, yeah. I wrote this down. Do you fantasize about things that you want to be reality? Question mark?
Not always. Like,
Especially when it comes to sex. I feel like you
yeah.
don't do that at all. Because I feel like in sex, like, you try to, like, role play a little bit, and I feel like people definitely try to role play in ways that they are opposite to what they are in real life, because that's the purpose of a fantasy, right? You, like, get to play this role in this very limited time in a very, like, controlled environment.
Yeah.
So even though I'm like, "Oh, man, I don't think that's true," but, like, saying I don't think that's true is kind of in defense of Jeffrey, so I was like, "Meh."
Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna be found guilty, it shouldn't be for that, you know? Like, it should be because he clearly murdered Jamie.
Yeah. Okay, so another question then. Why do you think he murdered Jamie?
Okay, so there's that thing that Joey said about, um,
Like, being
how
jealous?
Jeff turned to him well, no, Jeff turned to him and was like, "What if we like, do we need this guy to stick around or something?" Or like, what would happen if he just disappeared or something? Like, Jeff said,
Do you think
what if"
anyone would miss him?
Yeah, yeah, he was like, "Do you think anyone would miss him?"
What a
I
psychopathic thing to say, by the way.
seriously, seriously.
Ew.
I don't know, and I don't want to guess what goes on in people's minds when they're high on meth, but, like, I think something it might have been partly jealousy because Joey and Jamie were friends, maybe also, like, a power dynamic thing because Jeff and Jamie were both tops and Joey was a bottom, like, just, like, macho alpha energy of,
Mhm.
like, I'm
Jealousy.
yeah, jealousy, like, I'm stronger than you are, and, like, I guess for a quick buck, I mean, I don't know. It's not like Jamie had that much money, but maybe also just, like, for free drugs and, like, whatever money he had on him. People
Yeah.
have been murdered for less, so,
Yeah. I do
yeah.
think it was probably more of a jealousy thing than anything else, because I think they had also said that it's not like Joey had like oodles and oodles of cash on him, or even oodles and oodles of drugs on him. And Jamie, it sounded like Jamie was pretty generous with his drugs anyway. So from that angle, it kind of felt like it was more of the jealousy reason.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Okay. Well, anyway, justice for Joey. Hope he gets his appeal. Hope Jeffrey gets caught counterfeiting and goes to life in prison.
Seriously. The
The
end.
end. Okay, let's pivot a little bit and talk about Louisville. So the documentary, as we said, is a two-part documentary, and it basically spends 50% of the time talking about the trial, but then the other half of the time talking about the whole culture and history of Louisville and all of the cast of characters that encompasses.
And they are characters.
Truly, they are characters. So just a couple people that I will read the names of because I wrote them down. We have David Domine, of course, the tour guide in Louisville, who also wrote the book Murder in Glitterball City. Oh no, sorry, A
That's
Dark
like a
Room
dark,
in Glitterball
yeah.
City.
Okay.
We also have John and Missy Tan, who made like really iconic commercials parroting
Oh,
things like the YMCA. We have Kim Crum, who is a writer who says that they're in a front porch neighborhood, and then also
oh
called
yeah.
out that there were a lot of inaccuracies in the book. We have Maria Eckerly, the game hunter, a hobbyist who sings jazz in the evenings.
Wait, was she the opera singer?
I
Or
don't know if she
no?
was the opera singer, but she was the one who said that she has a groundhog that she took to a Groundhog Day party and dressed him up in a tuxedo.
Oh yeah. I think she was the opera singer too.
What's a Groundhog Day party?
Um, I think it's a party to celebrate like the first day of spring or like,
Oh, cute.
Groundhog's Day. I don't know.
We should have a
That was my
Groundhog Day
assumption.
party. That
Oh,
sounds fun.
okay.
We have Deborah Stewart, who has talked about Belgravia Court. We have Deborah Richard, the architectural historian. We have Dale Strange and Bill Gilbert, a gay couple who moved into one of these Victorian houses. We have Diana Skaggs, the hairstylist. We have Jody Ritchie. We have Daniel Sissel. Oh my God,
And
so
who was
many
the mother and
people.
son who were like friends with Jamie, and then the son like hit on Jamie when he was dressed as a drag queen, and then they
Yeah.
also used to do crystal meth together with Jamie.
Yeah.
That
I
mother-son duo was so chaotic.
so chaotic. I was like, what is their relationship? Wait, what is their relationship? Oh
Wait,
man,
were they not
wild.
mother-son?
They were, yeah, they are
Okay,
mother
okay.
son, but they would like do crystal meth together and like party together and all those things.
Yeah, yeah. And then she
Yeah.
was like, I was a stupid mother. And he was like, you weren't a stupid mother, you were a fun mother. I was like, you you still think that?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like they have a good relationship now, so happy for them. And who else? Oh yeah, we have Hurricane Summers, Jamie's
Oh
drag mom,
yeah.
and all the cast of characters.
Wait, question. What is a
Yeah.
drag mom?
Oh,
Is it
okay,
like
so
a
I don't.
mentor?
A drag mother is an experienced, established drag queen who mentors a new performer known as a drag daughter, guiding them in makeup, performance, costuming, and navigating the industry. Originating from the 1970s ballroom scene, this chosen family structure provides support, safety, and community for LGBTQ plus individuals.
Cute. I love it.
So yeah, quite a cast of characters. Obviously things that were not like super relevant to the case, but kind of set the scene. So my question for you is more around why do you think it was so important to set the stage of like, this is what Louisville is like, this is what this particular street was like, this is how the environment is, and why did they have to show those commercials?
Great question. Okay, actually, before I answer that question, I'm forgetting why that uh like pawn shop was even part of. Wait, was it a pawn shop? Why was that even part of the story to begin with? Do they
Great
know either
question.
of the people?
Great question. No. The answer is no, because I kept waiting for them to describe why they were interviewing they got so much screen time, probably the second most screen time after the cast of characters that was in the court case itself. Why?
I don't know. Okay, I will say I learned a lot about Louisville from all these interviews with the random townies, and I do think it helped in my impression of like the story of events of what happened during the murder, because I had no idea there was such a thriving drag community in Louisville. I really didn't expect the people that they interviewed to be the type of people that would be supportive of the drag community. And so I think it was very effective in opening my eyes to the type of people in the town that would be like supportive of a gay couple living on that street. And so I think without all of that, I would have had questions of like homophobia in the case. I would have had questions of like, like how surreptitious did they have to be about their relationship, stuff like that.
Mm.
And so I think that it took that away from the case for me, and it was just like really about the murder. And so and maybe also the producers of this show were like, no one knows about this town and how batshit crazy it is, like for whatever reason. Let's show them how crazy and fun Louisville is. And so yeah, I will say it was very effective. I did not know that Louisville was the birthplace of the disco ball, which is why it's called
Yeah.
Glitterball City. And yeah, so I do think it affected my impression of the couple and the case. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I would agree with you. I think it kind of like colored it a little bit more so that we could focus on who these people actually were rather than, oh, it's this gay couple who invited this like druggie to have a threesome and then something went wrong. And so we shouldn't care, that kind of thing. Like to
Yeah.
avoid that kind of mentality around it. So I agree. I think it honestly did make me have a little bit more faith in like, oh, maybe justice can be served because they are looking at this with the lens of not just like two gay people, but more like what actually happened here. How can we make sure that justice is served, even though
Yeah.
justice wasn't served?
Yeah.
Anyway, the other thing that I noticed is I feel like they really brought into play how much embellishment there was going on. And they kind of this is maybe like a sub story, but it felt like there was an undercurrent of like not everything is what it seems, right? So
Mm,
even when they talked about the book, the historian Deborah Richard, the architectural historian, said that in the book that this Belgravia core area is the oldest and largest residences in the US or
mm-hmm.
something like that. And she was like, that's actually not true. It is the largest continuous section of Victorian residences, but it's not the largest. So I was like, okay, so that's like a little bit of a nit, but okay, we'll move on.
Mm-hmm.
Then when they started talking about all the ghost stories that were going on in Louisville, they talked about the history of the house, 1435 South 4th Street. There's like a series of murders, or not murders, but like everyone's just like dying every couple of years that are associated with this house. Um, and they said that there used to be this woman who lived there, Pauline Boren, who um bought this house that used to be a sanatorium, and she's a nurse, and she opened it up to boarders, and then a boarder came after her and like with a
With a
hammer
hammer.
and like killed her or whatever. But at the same time that they're doing that narration, they also showed like the obituary of Pauline Boren, and it said Pauline Boren died at age 79, blah blah blah, she was like a pediatric nurse, blah blah blah. And I was like, who is coming after a 79-year-old with a hammer?
I don't know, man. Stranger things have happened.
Anyway, I was just like, that's kind of
Yeah.
weird that they didn't even mention any of that in in her obituary. I think it seemed
Yeah.
like a pretty normal obituary for
Well, they
what
only
it's
showed a
worth.
very tiny part of it, right? Maybe in obituaries you don't say how the person got murked, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I guess maybe. Um yeah, anyway, I think it was more just the whole ghost story thing. It just felt like there were certain creative liberties that were
hmm
taken almost at every turn, and especially in the book when they're comparing the book to the people themselves.
Yeah. The like multiple people dying in 1435 South 4th Street and the whole like ghost culture in Louisville were so interesting to me. Do you think like I don't know if you believe in ghosts. Do you believe in ghosts?
Oh, that was another question that I wanted to ask
Oh,
you. Do
okay.
you believe in
Okay.
ghosts?
Well, I guess I'll answer for myself. I 100% believe in ghosts, and I do believe in like spirits lingering and like affecting the person that moves into the house and stuff. And so when I saw that like multiple people had died in that house and like every couple years there was a death in that house, I was like, "Ooh, maybe something overcame them and like they were just not that Jeff's not to blame if or like whoever murdered him is not to blame, but yeah, there was just something very interesting to me about like, oh my gosh, another murder in that house, huh? Feel like it's
Hmm.
hard to I don't know. Yeah, I definitely believe in ghosts. I think if a house is too old, they're like there's an aura, there's like something there. I don't know.
Do you feel like I think someone said this. I think it was Angelique X Stacy, the medium. I think she had said something that the reason that there are so many spirits and ghosts in that area is because all those houses are made of brick and stone, which
Mm,
hold on to energy more so than wooden structures.
interesting.
As a mechanical engineer who knows about materials,
As a mechanical engineer, I 100% believe that brick holds on to spirits better than wood does.
no, okay, but the reason that I say this is because for my sister's bachelorette last year, we went on this ghost tour in New Orleans, and the guide there was very much, I don't know if she was a non-believer, but she definitely was like, well, here's the thing, like I can ham it up for you. And like she told us the story about how there was this house that had burned down, and it was like, man, let me see. Let me back up and tell this story properly.
Okay.
Okay, so we were on this ghost tour. She takes us to this house where it's like made of brick and everything. And she was like, yeah, like the story of this house is there is this matriarch who was just horrible. She had slaves and she tortured all of her slaves. And then when she left the country because she would found guilty of something or other, people found tortured slaves in this room up here, whatever it is. But also when she left, she set fire to her place, and then all of this stuff kind of just burned down. And there are people who burned down in the house or something like that. And she was like, and if you touch the brick, you can still kind of feel the warmth of the fire or whatever. And she was like, that's what you can say. But also, brick is a very good heat conductor, something like that. So basically, whatever warmth that you have, you feel like the brick is warm too, because it's just a good conductor of heat. So, my question to you is that true?
No. Um, no, that is not the case. If something is a good conductor and it is room temperature and you are hotter than room temperature, it will feel very cold to you. I guess one example of this is like if you just touch so you touch like the faucet of your sink that's like not running water. So it's just like sitting at room temperature. It's it's room temperature because it's been in that space for a long time. Like it's totally at equilibrium with the temperature around it. your hand is at 98 degrees Celsius. You touch it, it will feel cold to you, right? Because metal is a very good conductor and it is like seeping heat out of your
Oh,
hand very
wait, okay.
quickly.
Maybe I said this wrong. I think it was like the opposite of a good conductor of heat. It's like what is that? An
An
insulator?
insulator?
Yeah, maybe it's that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it was like brick is an insulator. So like when you touch brick, it feels warm.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Is
I
that
still don't
true?
think it would feel warm. Like, I mean, unless it was in the sun or like it was a hot day. It would just feel like if you touch a wooden desk, like my desk is wood. Does that feel warm to you? Just feels like like
Is wood a good insulator?
yeah, wood's a good insulator, air is a good insulator. Um
Brick and
all of
stone?
these yeah. Like they're not conductors.
Okay, maybe it's okay. Wow,
So
I'm really showing my science expertise here, which is none.
but yeah, all of these things are bad conductors, which means they are good insulators in both
So they
heat and
hold on to
electricity.
heat.
They they hold on to heat, which means that when you touch it, it won't transfer to you very quickly, you know?
So they hold on to
Um
energy.
yes, it is hard to change their internal energy because they hold on to it, but also like they're also at room temperature, you know?
Okay. So what you're
So they don't
saying is it's true, but you
it will
also said
feel
that
warmer than metal, but it's only because the brick is not pulling heat away from your hand as quickly as the metal is, because all of these things are lower than your body temperature.
right, right, right. Okay. So TLDR, it is true that if you touched brick, even at night, if it was sitting out all day in the hot sun, it would feel warm. So that is correct. Then the second thing is brick and stone may hold on to spiritual energy, but not more so than wood, right?
Yeah, and material science expert yappers, let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's a significant difference in the ability between wood and stone. If anything, I would think stone is a better conductor because stones sometimes feel cold compared to wood. But
Yeah, that's
anyway,
what I was thinking too.
um,
Okay.
yeah. If anything, wood is a
Materials.
better insulator.
Yeah. Materials scientists, please let us know what holds on to spiritual energy.
And is it the same material that holds on to thermal energy?
Okay. And then, okay, coming back to your question, do I believe in ghosts? I think I believe in ghosts when I want to be spooked out, if that makes sense. Like,
Mhm.
if I don't want to believe in ghosts because I'm too, like, I'm in the red zone of the spookometer, I'm like, everyone is just a bag of organic matter that decomposes in the soil over time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I thought one very compelling thing was when the medium said that from across the street, because she lived across the street from 1435 South 4th Street, she saw a shadowed figure walking back and forth, and sometimes it had long hair and sometimes it had short hair. And basically, what her conclusion was that it was Jamie Carroll's spirit, sometimes in drag and sometimes not, walking
Yeah.
back and forth. That was so interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I feel like I believe in other people seeing ghosts. Did I
Okay.
ever tell you the story that my sister told me about my cousin? It was like many, many layers.
I don't know. I don't think so.
So apparently, my sister and my cousin, who were born around the same time, they were born the under this birth chart that's like, oh, they're very sensitive and susceptible to the spirits. And so apparently, my cousin has this story about like seeing ghosts a lot, or like has a couple of different stories about seeing ghosts, but there was like one story that stuck out to him. Is I think when he was like super young, he was like, I don't know, maybe like 5 years old or something. He was like got up in the middle of the night and he was like just like needed to go pee or something. So he like walks over to the bathroom and he goes to pee. And on his way back, he like crosses the kitchen and he kind of like sees someone in the kitchen, but he doesn't make eye contact with this person. He just kind of like clocks that someone is there and then just keeps walking. And apparently, it's good that he didn't make eye contact because apparently, when you make eye contact with a ghost, that's when they know that you can see them and that's when they start haunting you.
Whoa.
Isn't that creepy?
Creepy.
So, yappers, whenever you see a ghost, just don't make eye contact. Like, keep your eyes down.
Oh my gosh. But how will you know? How do you know they're a ghost?
I feel
Oh,
like you
man.
can kind of tell
Okay.
if someone's not where they're supposed to be.
Like looming in your kitchen in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Okay.
During witching hour, you know.
Okay.
If someone's going, whoo. Okay, I'm gonna see if there's anything else that we should talk
Okay.
about. So that was a not sure why the commercial people were there, right? Okay,
Correct.
great. Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the neighborhood itself, 1435 South 4th Street. So of course, whenever there's an address in any show, movie, documentary, whatever, you know I'm going on Zillow and I am looking up that address.
Hell yeah.
So I did find it, 1435 South 4th Street. It's not on the market, it's off market, but the Zestimate is that it is.
Oh, wait, can I guess?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, wait, let me tell you the specs and then you can guess. So
Okay.
it is 8 bed, 6 bath. It is 7,660 square feet.
What the fuck? This is a way bigger house than I thought. I thought
It's
it was like
huge.
2,000 square feet.
You've lived in the Bay
Okay.
Area for too long.
Yeah, truly.
A Victorian mansion must be like 2,000 square feet.
That's how big the SF Victorians are. Okay, I'm going to guess 600,000.
More.
Ooh. 1.2 million.
It's less. It's 975,700. That's the estimate.
Okay.
However, I think because this particular house has a lot
Is
of
a murder
history
house?
behind it. Yeah, it's like a murder house, whatever. It's got a lot of character and stories. I think that's why the Zestimate is a little bit larger. So I also saw there was an actual house that was on sale around the same area. It is a 7-bedroom, 9-bath. And it is 6,808 square feet. So you can guess how much this is.
Wait, so you're saying the Zestimate was inflated?
Yeah, I think the Zestimate is a little inflated for the murder house because of this other house that I found. That was a 7-bedroom, 9-bathroom.
Oh, okay. Was that sold for like 800,000
Less.
or something? Oh.
It is currently on the market.
Oh, currently on the market for like 700,000?
Less.
500,000?
Less.
What? What
It
the
is
heck?
350,000 for a 7-bedroom, 9-bathroom. However,
6,000 square foot house?
I would love to show you pictures of this house.
Oh my god, is it like a real
is
fixer-upper?
crazy? Okay, great. It's in my Homes for You in Louisville, Kentucky section on my homepage.
Oh, she got it saved.
Oh, it's personalized. Okay, yappers who are listening, I'm sorry this portion of the episode may not be as interesting to you, but maybe you, Shalini, you can narrate what you see on the screen as we click through the photos.
Sounds great.
Okay, so here is the house. Very Victorian. Very
Ooh,
brick.
okay, it has like a stone facade. It looks like a really old cathedral type.
Okay, here is the entryway.
Okay, is that like exposed concrete on the ground?
That's how it looks today. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty dusty.
Okay, I
You
see
can
some like construction dust lying around. There's what is that? Like an open, there are a lot of broken things I'm seeing. There's like a broken window, a broken bench. What is this broom laying on the floor?
Boxes on the ground, boarded up windows.
Yeah, what is going on? Yeah,
Don't know
all the
what's going
windows have
here.
some like planks of wood going across them.
Okay, yeah. And then so with the touch of AI, here's what it could look like. Boom.
Oh, that's ambitious. Okay, yeah. Now it's like very warm. There's furniture, no longer a random broom on the
No
floor.
broom.
There is a rug, there's warm lighting. Okay, this looks like a very beautiful Victorian home.
Yeah. So you can kind of see that theme. Here's another picture.
Oh my god. Do they have the before and after, like before AI and after AI for every photo?
Kind of, yeah. So it really made this a treat. And I will say the AI, visualizations get a little bit more egregious as the pictures go on.
Okay, the second photo, more like exposed concrete flooring, or it's hardwood floor that's completely covered in dust. Really hard to tell. Yeah, there's what is that? A half-drunk bottle of Coke sitting on the mantle.
On the beautiful ornate wood mantle, there is a half-drunk plastic bottle of Coke.
Looks like some fire damage perhaps in the walls. There's like
Yeah.
exposed. Okay, there's like no more drywall in some parts of it. Just big old hole into the inside of the walls.
But this is what it could look like, Shalini, with just a little bit of vision. Boom.
Wow. No more hole. No more Coke bottle.
The Coke bottle has been replaced with a philodendron.
Oh my. Okay. All right, let's keep going.
All right. Before and after at the top of the stairs.
Mm.
And then this. And then this. And this one's got
AI
like
is
no
taking
walls.
a lot of liberties. Oh, there's so many walls now.
Yeah, this one's crazy because, okay, you've got a window here, then you've got your entryway here. But the entryway has been moved.
Yeah, it's shifted. It's shifted. It's giving, show me a picture with no cats.
Okay, this one is really funny. So this is a picture of the bathroom. So you can see that through this door, there's like another window here with another like pretty shitty looking like tub,
Like
and like it's
bathtub, yeah.
very dirty and everything, right? But the AI of this picture, the AI visualization has kept everything kind of the same except for like this window. I feel like is still a little bit dirty.
Yeah, wait. Why did they keep the window dirty?
But then in the next, oh wait, actually, yeah, you can see some like stuff here too.
Oh my
like,
God.
what's that? Okay, but then this is the actual bathroom. That they've now like gone into that room, and then they AI
Wait,
generated
there's
that.
still dirt all over the shower floor.
Oh God, ew. I didn't even see that. Well, in case that was a feature that you wanted to keep.
Oh my God. It's so funny.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's the $350,000 7-bedroom, 9-bathroom house, 6,800 square feet. Could be yours for
Wow.
$350,000.
Oh, there was a price cut recently. All right.
Yeah. So, how much do you think it would cost to fix this up? Seeing what you've seen.
Like at least $1 million, I would think.
Oh, really? To do all the renovations?
I don't know. Like, do you think these are salvageable? I guess maybe. I don't know. Okay.
The thing is that it was also built in 1888. So it's possible that it is a historical building. And like that's why they want to sell it and not just tear it down. But it's been through some shit. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yes. It's really interesting because, like, as I was going through all of these houses, I was looking at a bunch of other stuff. And it seems like, for the most part, all of these Victorian houses have kind of been sliced up into apartments. So they're generally like 3 stories, but they have made them into like 3 separate apartments with, like, as a 1 bed or
Mm.
a 2 bed kind of thing.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
that's also what a lot of the Victorians in, San Francisco are like.
yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, it was,
Wow,
quite interesting to navigate Louisville through Zillow.
fascinating.
Alright, should we do contextualized recommendations?
Yes. I would say if you love true crime, you've wanted to learn about Louisville and you don't know anything about it right now. You love stories about like the drag and LGBT community. Um, yeah, then this is for you. What would you say?
I think my biggest takeaway is that maybe I would wanna go visit Louisville and kinda see for myself
Yeah,
what all these
yeah.
yeah, what the culture is like, because it does feel very quirky in a very unexpected way.
Yes. All right. Ruchi's bachelorette party 2027. We're going to Louisville.
Um, I wouldn't,
Heard it here first, folks.
do
All
they have
yappers invited.
do they have escape rooms?
Probably.
Well, there you go, I'm in. Well, thank you so much, Tony, for the recommendation. I thought this was a really fun watch. So yeah, hope you enjoy the episode. And to anyone else who wants us to watch something and to let us do a fan favorite episode, we are always down for a Yapper's recommendation.
Yes. Yay.
Ding! Binge in progress. Um,
Binge in progress.
I'll go first because I
Okay.
want to talk about what I've been watching. I started The Substance last night with Demi Moore and I forget the other actress's name.
Margaret Qualley.
Yeah, Margaret Qualley. Um, very body, what is it? Body gore. Oh my god, so
Yes.
many gross things. Uh, it kind of
How far are you into it?
okay. I have 40 minutes left.
Okay.
So I've gotten to the part. I don't know how much I should say. Okay, this is tentative spoiler alert for people who have watched it. Uh, well, okay, anyone who can like watch the movie like knows that this is going to happen. So they're supposed to switch bodies or whatever like every 7 days. Then Margaret Qualley kind of takes over for 3 months and now she has run out of spinal fluid or whatever to stabilize herself and now she has to like wake up Demi Moore again, even though Demi Moore has like an extremely decomposing body at this point. So I
Okay.
didn't want to watch that part. It was like kind of
Mm.
late. And I was like,
What do you think of it so far? I absolutely loved the movie, but I know it's very polarizing.
I am confused as to how much they actually share consciousness. Like,
Mm.
didn't have any idea about that because there were definitely some things that Demi Moore knew about Sue that she wouldn't have known otherwise. And then Sue also acted like she was new to information that she should have had.
Mm. Yeah, I don't really remember. I remember I watched this movie at the same time that I was watching Severance, and I was like, "Oh, it's like the opposite of Severance, where it's like one soul, two bodies versus one body, two souls." Um, yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, are you enjoying it, or are you just like, "What is this?"
I think I'm a little cringed out with the gore. Like, I
Fair.
am not a fan of needles. Like if someone has to draw blood or whatever, I like just don't look at it. I don't look at the needles. So I think that's kind of why I'm like like every time she goes in with that big ass needle to get the stabilizer fluid,
So gross.
can't handle it. I have to look away. So maybe I'll finish it now when it's in the daylight.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. I am interested to see kind of like what happens at the end, like how this susses out, how this
Mm.
stabilizes per
It
se.
does get gorier. It does.
Yeah, that's what people were saying. Like the last 30 minutes is like the gory part, which is why I was like, Maybe I'll just stop it now. Great, great.
Well,
Okay.
have fun with that.
Thanks. What's your binge in
Um,
progress?
okay, one which is actually slightly relevant to the real estate conversation we were just having. I'm watching Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV Plus with John Hamm, Olivia Munn, and other famous actors. Such an amazing show. I think if we ever need like a rewind episode of like a show that came out a while ago, we should do this show. It's so good, and it's about rich people problems, which I
You
love.
love.
But anyway, in that there is a murder, and all the rich people in the town are talking about how that affects the real estate value of the home, and it brings it down by 25%. So, yeah.
Not in this case, not in
No.
1435 South 4th Street.
I guess we'll see if the Zestimate is accurate.
Yeah.
And then the other, I guess it's not really a binge because there's only one episode a week, but the new season of Survivor is coming out, season 50, in the hands of the fans. And my sister and I just hosted a watch party yesterday, after episode 2 came out. And before we actually watched the episode, we did this Survivor style challenge, like a reward challenge, where we had our friends split up into 2 teams, and there were a bunch of like elements to the challenge all leading up to this like puzzle at the end, basically, which is really fun.
Aww. And then you also had a puzzle, right?
Oh yeah, so the puzzle, there was a word puzzle that was the very beginning of the challenge. Should I say it here? Actually, yeah. Yappers, let me know if you figure out what this clue is. So,
Ooh, should we do like a giveaway thing? Like the first yapper to comment the right answer across any of our social media, you get some BYR merch.
oh, okay. Okay, sounds good. I also have some Survivor merch that I can send them that I just
okay,
have.
there you go. That's probably, maybe we'll do
Okay,
both
cool.
or something.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Okay, here is the riddle. I have no lungs, yet I need air. I have no soul, yet I can die. I have no legs, yet I can move. Give me food, and I grow. Give me drink, and I fade. What am I? All right, yappers. First one to
Ooh.
comment correctly, we will send you something.
We promise it will be worth it. And you also get a shout out in the next week's episode. How about that?
Yes. That sounds
Great.
good.
All right, the survival hunt is on. Best of luck, yappers. What does
Yappers,
Jeff Probst say?
survivors. He says, wait, when?
When he
The
like
tribe has
starts a
spoken?
challenge.
Oh, well, right before it starts, he goes, survivors ready! So, yappers ready!
There you go.
And that's how you do it on Binge Yap Repeat!
Cut recording. We're done.
Thanks for yapping with us. If you loved this episode, have some hot takes we missed, or if you've got a show you're dying for us to binge next, follow us on socials. We're at Binge Yap Repeat.
Until next time, happy binging.